Imagine for a moment a world suddenly void of human life. A quiet and eerie silence blankets the world like a thick fog. The hustle and bustle of cities, once filled with the cacophony of human activity, now lay deserted and ghostly. The incessant chatter of conversation, the roar of traffic, the symphony of life as we know it, all abruptly silenced. In this world, skyscrapers stand like tombstones against the sky, their once vibrant lights now dim and lifeless. Streets, once teeming with people, are now host to nothing but the whispers of the wind. The world's metropolises, which used to pulsate with life round the clock, are now frozen in time, like eerie monuments to a bygone era. In the countryside, the absence of humanity is no less poignant. Farms lie fallow, their crops untended. Livestock roam aimlessly, unattended. The rhythm of life, once dictated by human hands, now follows a different, wilder beat. Yet in the midst of this desolation, the world continues to turn. The sun rises and sets, indifferent to the absence of its most ambitious observers. The seasons change in their unfaltering cycle, oblivious to the sudden void. Nature, in its relentless march, begins to reclaim the spaces once dominated by mankind. And in this world, devoid of human existence, there is me. I stand alone, the last vestige of a species that once claimed dominion over this planet. I am the solitary survivor, the final witness to the world's eerie transformation. My story is one of survival, of adaptation, of resilience in the face of unimaginable solitude. How did this happen? Where did everyone go? These are questions that haunt me, echoing in the empty streets and abandoned buildings. But they are questions without answers, riddles without solutions. All I know is this. In the blink of an eye, everyone vanished. All, except me. The first day was a haze of disbelief. I remember waking up to an eerie silence, a world suddenly devoid of the familiar hum of human activity. My mind reeled, refusing to accept the reality of my solitude. I roamed the desolate streets, my heart pounding in my chest, my eyes straining for any sign of life. Echoes of laughter, snippets of conversations, they all seemed to hang in the air, ghosts of a world that once was. But there was no one. I found myself running, shouting into the void, a desperate plea for response that was met with chilling silence. The denial was a comforting lie, a shield against the crushing weight of reality. But as the sun set, painting the sky in hues of despair, I had to face the truth. The world as I knew it had ended. I was alone, truly alone. Day 2 brought a new reality: survival. The eerie silence of the second day brought on an insatiable hunger, a thirst that seemed impossible to quench. With the world at a standstill, the protagonist had to navigate through the remnants of a once thriving society. Scavenging for food and water became a relentless pursuit. Supermarkets, once brimming with produce, now lay deserted, with only the stale remnants of civilization left behind. The protagonist had to rely on his wits and instincts, learning to identify edible from inedible, safe from unsafe. The world had become a deserted playground where the rules of survival had drastically changed. The protagonist had to adapt, to learn, to grow. He had to become resourceful, using whatever he could find to sustain himself. Every can of food, every drop of water was a victory against the odds. The challenges of survival in a deserted world were daunting, but the protagonist was determined to endure. Survival was no longer a given, it was a battle. By the third day, the loneliness began to set in. It was an inevitable reality, a harsh truth that gnawed at my spirit. I was the last man standing in a world that once bustled with over 7 billion souls. The cities, once alive with the hum of humanity, now stood silent and deserted. The very air seemed to hold its breath, waiting for a sound, a sign of life that would never come. This solitude was a cruel mistress. She wrapped her cold, unforgiving arms around me, whispering tales of despair and desolation. The absence of human voices, the lack of laughter and conversation was a void that echoed loudly in the hollow chambers of my heart. I yearned for a connection, a bond, a simple human touch. But all around me was silence, a silence so profound it was deafening. But humans are resilient creatures. We adapt, we evolve, and we learn to survive. I knew I had to embrace this solitude, to make it my ally rather than my enemy. So I began to seek solace in the remnants of the civilization that once was. I found comfort in the pages of books left unread, in the melodies of songs unsung, in the art that now hung unappreciated in the deserted galleries. I began to find beauty in the silence, in the stillness. The world, stripped of its human chaos, revealed a different kind of beauty, a raw, unadulterated splendor that was both haunting and mesmerizing. I found myself connecting with the world around me in a way I never had before. The rustling leaves, the chirping birds, the whispering wind, they became my companions, my confidants. And as the days turned into weeks, I realized that solitude can be a gift, a chance to reflect, to connect, to grow. It's in the quiet moments that we truly hear our own thoughts, our own voices. It's in the silence that we find our true selves. In the deafening silence, I found a strange peace. A peace that, ironically, could only be found in a world devoid of human noise. A peace that came from accepting the solitude, from embracing the silence. Day 5 and 6 were a testament to the human will to survive. In the unforgiving landscape of a post-apocalyptic world, the struggle for existence became my singular obsession. As the days turned into nights, and the nights into a cruel, cold void, I was forced to tap into the deepest recesses of my primal instincts. The world had changed, but the laws of nature had not. The strong survive, the weak perish. The cityscape around me was a wilderness, a concrete jungle fraught with unseen perils. Each step was a calculated risk, every decision a matter of life and death. Finding shelter was a challenge. The once familiar structures now stood as hollow, skeletal reminders of a world lost. Yet within these desolate ruins I found refuge, a sanctuary from the biting chill, a haven from the lurking dangers outside. Food and water were scarce, hidden treasures in a desolate landscape. The hunt for sustenance became a daily ritual. I scavenged, foraged, and when necessary, hunted. The taste of victory was often bitter, but it was a price paid for survival. But it wasn't just about surviving the elements or the hunger. It was about surviving the solitude, the gnawing loneliness that threatened to consume me. The echo of my footsteps, the only reminder of my existence. The silence, a constant companion in the cacophony of my thoughts. Yet, in the midst of this struggle, I discovered an unexpected truth. A revelation that came not with a fanfare, but with the quiet certainty of dawn breaking after a long, dark night. I was more than a survivor in this desolate world. I was a creature of resilience, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. I was not just surviving, I was evolving. I was adapting. I was overcoming. Each day was a fight, a battle won against the odds. Each breath was a victory, a silent rebellion against the unforgiving world. And as the 6th day came to a close, under the cold gaze of a distant moon, a thought struck me with the weight of 1,000 suns, a realization as profound as it was simple. I realized I was not just surviving, I was living. On the 7th day, I stood alone under the vast sky, reflecting on my journey. A journey that began in the hollow echoes of a world silenced, where once the vibrant hum of human life resonated. Each day was a testament to my will to survive, a testament to the very essence of humanity. I found myself scavenging through the remnants of a civilization that once thrived, a civilization that we took for granted. Old food cans became precious commodities, a stark reminder of how quickly the towering achievements of mankind can crumble into dust. In the deafening silence, the solitude was a relentless companion. It was in the solitude that I discovered a new perspective. When the world is stripped bare, when the noise of society is silenced, you are left with nothing but your own thoughts. You start to see the beauty in things you never noticed. You start to appreciate the small things. The fight for existence, it was more than just a struggle for physical survival. It was a battle of the mind, a battle of the spirit. To survive, I had to adapt. I had to evolve. I had to find a purpose, a reason to keep moving forward. As I stood there on the seventh day, looking at the world that was once ours, I realized something profound. I realized that survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about finding meaning in the struggle. It's about finding joy in the little victories. It's about finding peace in the solitude. In the grand tapestry of life, humanity is but a single thread. We are fragile, we are ephemeral, but we are also resilient. We are survivors. We are capable of great things and equally capable of great destruction. In the face of extinction, I found a will to exist. I survived not because I had to, but because I chose to. And that, my friends, is the true essence of survival. It's a choice, a conscious decision to keep moving forward, no matter what. It's a testament to the power of the human spirit, a testament to our resilience. And it's a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope.